We're going to talk about the disturbing case of Lindsay Abul, a mother who allegedly lied about her daughter's terminal illness to trick people into donating thousands of dollars to her. It's an unimaginable and heartbreaking scenario that many of us wouldn't even consider. We all know how devastating it can be to lose a loved one, and the thought of a child dying is simply unbearable. That's why it's so upsetting to hear that someone would go to such lengths to deceive people. According to reports, Abul claimed that her daughter was suffering from a terminal illness that affected her nervous system, which would eventually lead to her brain shutting down. She allegedly even went so far as to put her daughter through counseling to prepare her for her own death. It's hard to imagine what that poor child must have gone through, believing that she was going to die at such a young age. But it turns out that Abul's claims were all lies. The Stark County Department of Job and Family Services, which investigated the case, found that there was no evidence to support the mother's claim that her daughter was terminally ill. Instead, Abul allegedly made up the story to obtain sympathy donations, trips, housing, and other expenses. Sorry to interrupt, but before we continue, please support us by sharing and subscribing to our channel, The American Republic. Your support helps us continue to bring you important stories like this one. The little girl has since been removed from her mother's care and placed into temporary protective custody. It's a sad situation all around, and one that raises many questions about the lengths that some people will go to for money and attention. One of the most disturbing things about this case is that it's not an isolated incident. We've seen similar cases of people lying about illnesses or tragedies to get sympathy and donations. It's a manipulative and unethical tactic that preys on people's kindness and generosity. And while it's important to have compassion for those who are suffering, we also need to be vigilant and cautious about where we direct our resources. It's crucial to do our research and make sure that the causes we support are legitimate and not based on falsehoods. It's also important to hold people accountable for their actions. Abul is facing criminal charges for her alleged deception, and she should be held responsible for the harm she caused her daughter and the people who donated to her cause. As conservatives, we believe in personal responsibility and the rule of law. We believe that people should be held accountable for their actions, regardless of their personal circumstances or intentions. And we believe that the truth matters, especially when it comes to matters of life and death. The case of Lindsay Abul is a tragic reminder of the lengths that some people will go to for attention and money. We must remain vigilant and cautious about where we direct our resources, and we must hold people accountable for their actions. As conservatives, we believe in personal responsibility and the rule of law, and we stand against any form of deception or manipulation.